And here we go. We've got the option to level Steelskin Spelunker, Grove Huntress, Fangwood Bear, or Venom Fang. I'm going to go with Steelskin Spelunker, and do I want to put it in the center lane, or do I want the ability for Forge Guardian Alpha to go in the center lane? Or not Forge Guardian Alpha. What card am I talking about? Automaton Prime. Alright, let's play Steelskin Spelunker. We drew another Steelskin Spelunker. We also drew Forge Guardian Alpha, but that was not what I meant to say. Alrighty, our opponent has the Nexus Overwatch, which we will again turn into a trade with the Steelskin Spelunker. So no harm, no foul there. Then they play a Volt Tactician, which eats our Technome. We probably don't have to worry about Epidemic against this opponent as well, but that'd be a good draw for them. Not sure what else would be as good. I mean, this will succumb to any pump effect. Though, if they do manage to keep Volt Tech alive, we've got a Scrap Forge Titan. So that's pretty sweet. Yeah, the ability to Steelskin Spelunker to make a Steelskin Spelunker trade with a Nexus Overwatch, that's pretty sweet. Alright, our opponent plays another Nexus Overwatch and a Technosmith. Our opponent is leveled very, very well. Our opponent has leveled a lot of cards. So that is pretty concerning. We can just play for the board, which would be Envillian Arbiter in 3, Grove Huntress in 1, pumping Envillian Arbiter. That trades his board. Trades boards off with him while we get a Steelskin Spelunker. Can also level Scrap Forge Titan and play either Grove Huntress or Wirewood Ranger, which I also don't hate. The Scrap Forge Titan can sit in an open lane, or it can block the Nexus Overwatch. I think I like just putting it in 2. And then we have the choice between Wirewood Ranger or Grove Huntress. Since we already have a spot for Grove Huntress to go, I'm going to go with that and pump our Spelunker and make a reasonably sized creature here. If I had went with the play of 2 open lane creatures, that would have given us a Hive Empress trigger, which would have been a good route to victory for this game. I don't know what my opponent has leveled so far, but they have played 2 Nexus Overwatches and a Technosmith, and then the only other card that they've played is a Vault Technician. So they've leveled 7 cards. I know about 4 of them, but it's the fact that they've just leveled 7 cards. Wait, you can see what they level now? That's a... Oh, shit. Oh, good shit, guys. I did not know that, you could see what gets leveled now. So they leveled a Forge Guardian Alpha, so we don't actually give a shit about that. And they leveled a Nanoswarm and a Forge Guardian Alpha. Oh. Oh, okay, so I'm worried for nothing. What the hell is happening? Okay, that's pretty random. That's not what I was expecting. Interesting. Okay. We still get punished for not having the ability to level. That was new. I did not know about that. That hasn't been in the game forever. At least I don't think. Or I've been playing this game wrong since it came out. But I'm pretty sure you did not used to know what cards your opponent leveled. Yeah, so no Hive Empress play here. I can Shimmerfang Serpent to trade with the Overwatch. I don't love that. The cards that they've played have been much better than the cards that they've leveled up. The cards that they have leveled up have been shit. But the cards that they've played are reasonable. I guess I can trade with Shimmerfang. I just don't have any other good plays. Like, I can Grove Huntress open lane. Um, oh, you know what I can do? Oh, this isn't going to get armor. Yeah, this isn't going to get armor, so it's not actually a great play even. So, let's just level my best cards. Really, that long? Okay. Um, so apparently, yeah, it's been around since a little before the new client, but I think this play is reasonable here. I'm not super sure, but I'm not sure. I think we can, yeah, no trigger for this either, which is awkward. But I think we can focus on potentially winning this game in player level 3 again. I wish I had known about that when, oh no, I did level Scrapforge Titan. So we have that in the deck. So we can potentially still hope to win this game on player level 3. Our opponent is going to kill the Grove Huntress with triggers. And we will have to then just trade with it. We can trade and leave a Raptor, or we can just trade and play this. Our opponent levels another card with a bad card this time, and, excuse me, this time they are leveling... Oh, we don't know yet. They're still making that decision. Yeah, I don't really. Oh, they are in Tempest, so they could have some ways to remove Defender, and the fact that they're leveling a Cinder Colossus here means that that is a pretty safe bet. Oh yeah, for sure. We're also 5-1, so I would expect opponents at this point in the draft to know what they're doing. At the same time, them playing a bunch of defenders means that they're not going to be super aggressive, which actually probably points to like I should just be leveling, or I should just be playing the best cards for the board, and I shouldn't be trying to beat them at their own game, because we get to player level 2 right now. They're just going to be able to block anything I try to play with big defenders, and yeah, that's gonna get tricky here. So I can trade the Ironbound reinforcements with the doggy here. The only other play that I'm looking at, yeah, I don't really think there's anything else I can do. Yeah, our opponent isn't going to miss many level 2s right now either. So that's also something to consider. Our opponent is pretty much going to get to hit on whatever they want to play. I'm just going to play this here and we'll figure out what to do with it later. Alright, I drew some solid cards here. Some Grove Huntresses. Those can potentially put in some work. Give this guy +6/+6. We've got a 10-13 all of a sudden. And that might let us do some tricky shit. I'm just hoping Scrapforge Titan can take us all the way. If their plan is to Nano Swarm their Forge Guardian Alpha, then I think we've got a shot, because that's not great. Because that was the other card that they leveled to, was a Nano Swarm. So we can trade with this if we want to. That seems pretty mediocre, but we're going to have to trade with something. Ooh, jeez Louise. Okay. One Grove Huntress pump makes this a trade. So, it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, because one Grove Huntress pump makes it a 7-10. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely trying to Nano Swarm my Scrappy here. I was just kidding. Because that's the only way that we've seen so far for them to be able to deal with their own Forge Guardians. I don't know. I'm not feeling super confident about this one here. I'm going to play some Grove Huntresses. Just figuring out what those Grove Huntresses need to do. A Grove Huntress can trade with this, but it's not like you need to trade with this. Like, if they have one defender, they've got all the defenders. So, you either take out the best defender, or you take out or you don't take out any. But there's no point in ever taking out somebody's like second best defender. The only reason I'm doing it here is because I'd just be crashing into this, and that trade lined up cleanly. Yep, Nexus Overwatch. So hopefully Technome, you can't Nano Swarm a Technome. So hopefully that seems good. I should have moved my War Charger. That was a pretty dumb mistake. By not moving my War Charger, I just let them have a center lane creature. And we don't really have any play other than this, so I'm going to make it. We could have Steelskin Spelunker instead of playing the Technome, but I'm going to need all the help I can get with my 1919s. We've done reasonably well to level cards in our deck. We didn't draw Scrappy. We did have to play some cards early on the player level, but we've got a War Tusk, a Technome, and some Spelunkers, so we're not out of it. We've gotten pretty lucky to match our opponent's consistency here. And like I was kind of getting at before, the fact that they have been leveling and playing defenders means that we have time. Because my opponent's played insane creatures here. There's a meta transfer. They've played insane creatures, but that doesn't really put them ahead on board. I mean, I guess it puts them ahead in some weird way, but... And I can Ironbound to finish that off, so that's good. And I'll just put some damage on Cinder Colossus here. Yeah, right? Yes. And then I guess we'll trade off because I have nothing better to do. Or do I just open lane? I don't want to take up my center lane right now. Yeah, I'm going to open lane. We've dealt 5 damage to my opponent so far with this. Yeah, I really don't have any ways to pressure them. I just have to play big creatures and hope that their game falls off at some point. I'm not sure. It looks like they're going to have a pretty easy time at dealing with me here. So what does this give? +8 attack. How many... Do I still have a Steelskin Spelunker? I don't. I've got a level 1 one. This does eat a Nexus Overwatch, so it's fine. And we'll go like this, take 9 damage. But yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, we've taken more damage. I mean, that was mostly from Nexus Overwatch and player level 1, but our opponent is ahead on board, and they've just leveled more cards. Our only saving grace is that this might be a long game, and we've got the pump. So our opponent might not have the actual pump to make their creatures big enough, but there's the first Flame Rift Instigator that's going to make his 13/11 active, and we don't have a way to deal with that 13/11 either. And then they're going to play a Forge Plate Sentry. So I'm going to take a bunch more damage here, and I'm going to trade with the Forge Plate and the Technome, I believe, because otherwise I would be putting 2 cards to deal with the Cinder Colossus, and I still wouldn't really be dealing with it. I could have played Grove Huntress or Steelskin Spelunker there. I think that's the better play. Grove Huntress is a really good draw to help deal with Cinder Colossus, and I got Scrapforge Titan right before the rank up. I do have 1 mobility card that is now a level 3 creature in my deck, but yeah, other than that, not really any ways to push through damage. How I really would have won this game was playing Scrapforge in 1 and the Wirewood Ranger in 3, so that I could have played the Hive Empress next turn and got the raid trigger off. Because if I was just taking him for 2 poison every time, that obviously would have been really good. He is eating my creature here. That doesn't really matter to me. I'm just going to play Scrappy and Grove Huntress. I believe, yeah, just looking at alternative lines because of this mobility, but nothing good lines up there. So we're going to go with this. We're now even on board, and we have slightly caught up with the pressure in the deck as well, with the fact that we have Scrapforge and we have some more level 3s. As you can see, our deck is looking really strong here. We've got a bunch of level 1s. Blarg. Okay, but also we've got a Scrappy, a War Charger, a War Tusk, a Technome. I've got 1 level 4 creature, an Ionic War Charger, and a level 3, which is what I consider that. So this is a 2016. Oh, I guess it's not really a level 4 creature. I mean, but this is a level 4 creature, so I guess you could consider this strong. But the Spelunkers are going to be good. The Grove Huntress. Yeah, this plan is definitely what we would call an oof, though. I agree with that assessment. And then we're put in a position here where our opponent plays 2 level 3s, and we've got nothing. So let's look at the numbers of some things that we could draw if we get unlucky. We could Grove Huntress to finish this off if we put any damage on it. We're not going to be able to activate this heal guy, so it's kind of pointless even considering it. Do I want to put damage on this? Probably not. I'll just lose to it when he activates it. That's fine. Yeah, not looking good for our hero here. I think this might be the end of this draft. However, we've got some Ironbound reinforcements. We've got a Grove Huntress. We've got a Steelskin Spelunker. And we've got a War Tusk. We've got the ability to potentially make some plays here. A War Tusk receiving 6 armor. Or, I'm sorry, 4 armor. In addition to the 4 armor that it naturally gets. means that it will trade with any defender and otherwise be unanswerable. Right, it'll eat that. We could also Grove Huntress so that it has 21 attack, but I don't think that that changes anything. Cool, cool, cool. That's why we don't hit that concede button, because our opponent is just as likely to not draw anything. We also have Ironbound Reinforcements pumping Aspirian Wartusk. Aspirian Wartusk has Breakthrough. This could be an avenue to victory here. Breakthrough. We need to deal damage to our opponent somehow. We have not dealt pretty much any damage to our opponent the entire game. I'm pretty confident I'm going to be playing Aspirian Wartusk in lane 3. That Ironbound Reinforcements play looks so juicy to me. It doesn't die to the Stormweaver either, which is huge. It survives with 3 health. Gets plus 12? Let's go for it. Let's do this. No luck's given, baby. Let's go. 28 attack. That's a lot of attack. Then we draw the armor. We have a Wirewood Ranger that can positive battle the Stormweaver and get our guy even bigger. Yeah, I mean, if our opponent activates the Cinder Colossus, like, I'm just dead. There's no point in blocking it in case they do, because you just get more punished if they don't. So I would rather just, like, okay, say my opponent activates it here, I'll just block it twice with Steelskin Spelunker and Wirewood Ranger. There's not really any other way to try to deal with that. Actually, I could block it with... Oh, that would be the same thing, yeah. So they elect to point the damage on Ironbound Reinforcements instead of the Wartusk. They're going to positive battle there, which is a good play for them. And then they've got that, which I think we are eating. Yes, we're eating it. Perfect. Oh, perfect. That's the kind of play that we needed. So I'm going to give it some more armor, and then I'm going to positive battle here. Right, yeah, you got to play to win. We just dealt them a whole bunch of damage. They've got to play a level 2 creature to deal with this still. And then... Oh, here's that Dendrify looking sad that it didn't get leveled to deal with Cinder Colossus. So they play a level 3. They also get to level a card in their deck. But we waste a level 3 out of them. Not really a waste. They get to level something. And we get to see what that is. Now I know. I think it's at the bottom. Yeah. Okay, they level a Forge Guardian Beta 1 into a Forge Guardian Beta 2. They block there. And we deal them 14 damage, and we are, I would say, definitely ahead on board. We can play War Charger in 5. I don't want to block. I don't want to block with Scrapforge Titan. I just want to hope. I just want to cross my fingers, say no luck's given, and just fucking go for it, you know? And I like Ionic War Charger a little bit more than Technome, because maybe it pushes in some damage. But also the Ionic War Charger can move over and finish off whatever blocks Wirewood Ranger if we need it to. I could also play Shimmerfang Serpent here, which, like... But we've got this to deal with. I could also put 10 armor in front of Technosmith. Maybe that's just better. Yeah, that is just better, isn't it? So 10 armor, and then I still have the play of Ionic War Charger in the flex lane, or just Technome, but since it's going in the center lane, I'm just going to play the bigger creature, and then I'm just going to push in damage. And we are tied. It is a tie ball game. That is true, yeah. Ironbound Reinforcements is good with the War Charger. Our opponent isn't going to be able to answer all of our creatures here, though. Oh, I lied. Our opponent is going to be able to answer all of our creatures here, though. But that play actually rewards me for playing Technome, I believe, because the whole reason to play War Charger was one, to get a little bit of damage in, but also to have a creature that could finish off like whatever they blocked with. Oh, the one turn we don't draw armor. The one turn. Damn. Alright, well, if I Ironbound this, it means they have to block it every turn or they lose. So that puts a pretty good lethal on their face. Alright, so this now has to be blocked or Nanoswarmed, which they do have the last level of Nanoswarm in their deck. And then Technome is lethal. Wirewood Ranger is not lethal, but makes this lethal in 2. But they're going to have to block this twice. This probably seems really straightforward. You just play either creature and you win. So let's see. They Nanoswarm and they pump this up, blocking Technome. I take that, I hit them for 6, I block this, and I block this. Yeah, we have to play Wirewood Ranger. So, oh no, because the Nanoswarm wouldn't deal with this completely. It would give it -15, -15, right? Yeah, I think we were safe regardless, actually. But I think this play is slightly safer. I mean, if you wanted to be really safe, you could block this shit. But all right, there's the Nanoswarm. Gives it like -8. I don't even really know what Nanoswarm does. I never play this card. Nanoswarm. Oh, it is -15. Our creature was just that big. All right. So they have to play that on their own guy. And they have the Flame Rift Instigator, so they have the 2 cards that I was considering. But even if I just hit the battle button right now, I win. So that is GG.